question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper. Glad to see everybody. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Excited about the stream today. Your boy, BlockchainCrusader, will be over here in just a minute. I think he's finishing up his lunch. So, fam, it's been a little bit. We have taken some time off, but we are back at it. Super excited. We've got things organized together. We are super excited to continue streaming, bringing you guys the best information, the best in trading wars, just trying to bring you the best of the best and doing something different. Flip or hodl, that's what we try to do. We try to bring you something different, something entertaining while still bringing you value. And hopefully you guys can make some more money as a result of following your boys. So let me jump into the chat real quick and say hello. Got a little bit of a slow start here, and I get it. It's because we have been a little bit MIA, and I do apologize for that. But trust me, as we move forward, it was for the better. You are going to be seeing us basically every day moving forward. The bull run's here, baby. Let's get after it. But jumping into the chat, we've got Caffeinated Crypto saying, hola, que pasa, güey? Good to see you. Jay in the house. Good to see you as well. Who else we got? Caffeinated Crypto, I just said, and Mr. Market. Looks like Mr. Market is ready with a couple milkshakes, kind of giving me the side eye. Excited about what these markets are doing. Let me show you something right quick. Where is it? Right here. This is what's happening right now and I love this post. I love Altcoin Daily. Shout out to Altcoin Daily, good friends of the show. This is what the Bitcoin bears are experiencing right now. They are getting absolutely wrecked. And isn't that the truth? I have been one of those bears. I think for me, it's more been maybe bear market PTSD. That's what Crusader likes to call it. Because it hurt. And you get so into this idea of every time I get my hopes up, it goes back down. And so I was getting messages on the phone asking, is the bull market over? And then all the way on the other side of it saying, oh my gosh, I didn't expect this pump. I thought we were going to continue to retrace, so I didn't buy as much. So when I've had people asking me, like, what do I do? I've been giving them the boring answer. We genuinely don't know what's happening from day to day. So dollar cost averaging in this instance, if you are trying to put a portfolio together, if you are newer to the crypto space, is a great freaking idea because of so many different circumstances that we are playing with right now in the crypto space that we just don't have a firm grasp on all the little intricacies of what this market is going to do. We can look at the past, and they say, the past doesn't always repeat itself, but it rhymes. Okay. I'm not so sure that this is even going to rhyme. Shout out to my boy Crypto Crow. Crow said something that I thought was really interesting. He said, so crypto folks, would there be enough time to tokenize RWA, which is real world assets, by 2030 with another bear market in the way first? I don't think so. Hashtag super cycle. Crusader and I haven't had this discussion yet. We've talked about the super cycle for sure. And Crusader loves the idea of the super cycle. And so do I. Candidly, so do I. The only thing scary about a super cycle is if you are taking profits if you're going so crazy on taking profits and then it just never comes back, that's scary as well. So we've talked about maybe not exiting our Bitcoin position, staying in the Bitcoin position, maybe staying a lot in our ETH positions, top tier stuff going on there. So that might happen, but it's a great argument. They are actively trying to tokenize real world assets, and bull market, bear market, something in between. My response was, well, maybe this bear market is going to be like a cute little panda bear. Maybe this next bear market is just something cute. It's nothing like what we normally experience. And that's because of some of the things that we're going to talk about. Obviously, the spot Bitcoin ETF is part of it, and how people are actively engaging in the markets right now because it's different. They're doing some things differently than they've done in the past, and you need to pay attention to it because if you're not, you're going to get left behind. You're either not going to catch something on the front end, which we're going to talk to you about that today, and some things that you should be looking for, things that you should be doing. Obviously not financial advice, but things that have been working out well for us and we believe is going to be a big trend moving forward. Or you get left behind because you get so set in your ways looking back that you think, oh, I'm just going to do the exact same thing as I've done every other bear market, bull market. And if you do the same thing as you've done every other bear market, bull market transition, there's a good chance that you are probably going to get stung somewhere. Maybe you were really good about taking profits. Maybe this turns into a full-on super cycle, and now those taking of profits is like it's great for now, but it ends up maybe stinging you a little bit. Maybe you didn't take enough profits, but you've been able to stack for a long time, and then you get into a position where you decide to try to do that again, and you put yourself into another position where the markets just look different and they react differently, and you're not able to continue to position yourself because the big pullbacks, those opportunities when you've dollar cost averaged in where you've made big moves, maybe those big pullbacks aren't there for you to be able to do that as effectively. So you got to pay attention to the markets and see what the market is giving you, and in return, you make decisions based off that. Smash the like if you haven't already. We are, it's a beautiful Monday afternoon. Excited to be here. Like I said, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. Trading Wars, baby. That's right. Trading Wars will be back next Monday, April 1st. No, this is not April Fool's. We will be here. So I'm super excited about that. We've got a great cast, a great lineup that's going to be here. And you, the audience, are going to be competing as well. There's a lot of money on the table for this. So I'm really excited about our new sponsors. Our new sponsor is CoinW. We were not jumping around exchanges just because we had issues or anything like that. Some of the different exchanges had some of their own regulatory things that they had to take care of on their side of things. So we just decided we really like what CoinW is doing. They're fully regulated. We're not going to have to make another switch with them. We've signed a multi-month contract with them. So we're excited to introduce you guys to CoinW. That is the official announcement for our sponsorship with them. All right, let's jump in. Let's take a look over at these crypto markets. You know what? I hate CoinMarketCap for this reason right here. I'm going to show you why. This thing does not want to load the way that it should. So when I look at this and I go over here, it says the global crypto market cap is at, and then it says 2.47. It's down 1.33%. Well, we know that's not the case. Okay. But let's go down here because this looks like it's on track. Bitcoin up over 70K. We're almost at 71K. We are rocking and rolling. $70,615. That's up almost 9% today. About 6% on the week. So good to see that turning back around. Look at ETH, baby. Right there, too. $3,632. 8.65% up almost 5% on the week. Glad to see it. BNB ripping. BNB is almost at $600, ladies and gentlemen. That's almost 10% up on the week. Glad to see that. Sol creeping back up on that $200 number. It's up almost 12% today. We're going to talk a little bit about the different networks that people have been playing around on, and Solana is definitely one of those, so stick around for that. XRP fam. We're up 9% on the week. That is a nice change. So, and we've got some stuff to talk about with XRP and what actually is happening in the ecosystem and what we could see. Do you have your vest on, good sir?
No, I forgot.
Oh, killing me. And let's see. So XRP going through the top 10. Dogecoin up 30% on the last week. There was some chattering happening surrounding Dogecoin and some partnerships. So I'm not sure whether that has anything to do with the pump. And then rounding out the top 10, and actually I want to go to number 11 right now, but rounding out the top 10, Cardano and Avalanche, both up almost 6% and 11% respectively. And the one I've been telling you guys about, I'm patting myself on the back for this. I've been telling you Toncoin for, I don't know, almost a month now. The time when I very first said Toncoin was a little bit over a month ago, not that long ago, but it was at about $2.12, I believe. It is now at $5.55. That's up 51.36% on the week. I am super pumped that I was able to bring that to you because I know for a fact, looking around, nobody else was talking about it. Nobody else was talking about it. My little alpha groups or whatever were showing me the way. So I give them props on that. Crusader, what do you got your eyes on, bro? I'm rolling down through here. Obviously, we always talk about where is it? Oh man. Down to okay, here we go. Number 40, Caspa, up 5.64%, up 15.2 on the week. Glad to see that. And then VeChain up at almost 4.5 cents, up almost 9% on the day and up 14%. Crusader, we have been talking about a number of different things in the markets. Before we dive into all of the intricacies of different networks and kind of some of the stuff that we want to have a discussion on, let's talk Bitcoin, dude, because ultimately Bitcoin leads the way. It is ripping, bro. It is ripping. So show me what the TA says, and we'll go from there.
Yep, let's get right into the TA here. Let me see, where's my chart up? Bam, bam, bam. Oh, I'm gonna share my screen.
I got you once you get it.
It's up.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah, man, basically what I've been talking about here when it comes to Bitcoin is we broke below the 2021 all-time high of 69,128, and then we got a little local resistance here, support resistance. So we ranged around a little bit until we finally came back down through the 63,000, tapped to the $61,000 level, which is a point of control in this range that we were last in. We bounced off of there once again, and I was like, hey, man, we're just going to continue ranging here until Bitcoin decides either it's going to break back above or we're going to dump back down. And, we broke this downward trend. We reclaimed this level of support from resistance into support.
Yeah.
And we blasted through the 2021 all-time high here at 69,100, which is very important. I did have a conversation with CVO, so shout out to him, talking about that the longer we stayed under the 2021 all-time high, the more bearish Bitcoin was going to get and could potentially drop not only to 55,000, but potentially even lower if we continue to spend a lot more time below the previous 2021 all-time high. So
just from an optics standpoint, is that what you mean?
From a technical aspect, is just the more this thing becomes resistance and we can't get back above it, then that just means that people are more bearish on Bitcoin and it's gonna dump. But we were able to have a nice bounce off the $63,000 level here on top of the value area high of this range, and bounce off of it over throughout the weekend. And today we just ripped through the all-time high. So we still have 6 hours left to see if we can close above this, right? Who knows? Maybe the next 6 hours we dump and we close below the 69,000 all-time high for 2021.
I don't think
that happens. Not bueno. But if we close above here and we continue, retesting this as support, up and away, it looks like it's going.
Yeah, up and away is right. I think that we need to understand something, and I actually pulled an article. I'm just going to show you the headline, and then I'll just talk on this just for a minute. We can chat on this a little bit. Tell me what your thoughts are. But I pulled an article regarding Bitcoin and what Bitcoin has been doing. Let me see what the title is here. Here it is. All right. Yeah. Boom. There we go. Analysts compare this bull to past bulls. The biggest difference revealed on the blockchain. Crusader, care to take a guess at what you think would be the biggest difference between this bull run and the last bull run, and what basically they would be seeing on chain happening differently than last bull run right now?
ETFs are definitely the biggest difference between the bull market and the last one.
So what do you think maybe is happening as a result of the ETFs that maybe are showing a different on-chain look at the markets?
I think there's more holders now than ever. I think more people are willing to hold on to their Bitcoin than before. I think before people, retail's always been very speculative. It's always been a speculative asset. But now with the blessing of the institutions, I think people are willing to hold on to their Bitcoin for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says. It is talking about the number of long-term holders, and that people are actively they're just sitting. They're sitting
does it give any stats on
it didn't
holders or anything?
Not in that article. It didn't. It was just giving an overview on the reality that what they're seeing. The chain analysis is just saying one thing and one thing only, that more and more and more people are actively just sitting on their bags, which, they actually called it kind of like just where it was like kind of stagnant. And you would think that that would be a bad thing, just like with stagflation, et cetera. But stagflation, you can just print, right? In Bitcoin, you're mining, and the miners have to sell to pay their power costs, right? So there's going to continue to be that being provided to the markets no matter what. And if more and more people are holding and not willing to sell because they see the tremendous value, and the only people that are effectively selling into the market are people that are taking massive profits, which is going to happen. That's always going to happen. It has to happen, combined with the miners. And there's not as much of the speculative in and out, bro. The supply and demand economics that are going to come as a result of this are going to be silly. And it's part of what we've heard, you know, in and out from multiple different people regarding Bitcoin. How crazy does this get? And some of the reason that I think some of the numbers get so silly, or I'm calling them silly, they might not be silly at all, is because of that reason right there. Nobody wants to sell. The people that do sell are the people that have to sell. And there's not much coming into the markets. You've got more people buying now than ever. Institutional money coming in. Like, it is a perfect storm for this to just get some stupid numbers. What were you just pulling up on that chat?
Puddles was talking about Aerodrome Finance moving. It's up 42% today.
Is that it? It's only
yeah.
up 42% today.
Only.
What did you call it? What?
It's Aerodrome Finance.
Okay.
So this is a token. It's a DeFi play. It's institutional. I think it might have something to do with real world assets as well. I'm not 100% sure, but it's on Base Network. It's one of the DeFi corners of Base. It's one of the few that is not like a meme coin on Base, and it's ripping up 42% in the day. Over in the month, 1,300% in the month, dude. I've been talking about this for a little bit. I got in, I think maybe around 50 cents. Put in $100.
Okay.
Yeah, and then never hasn't really moved too much or anything like that. But I think it does have a tie-in with. Let me check over here. I gotta check their website. I'm not 100% sure. See, it's on the Base Network.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure if it's in the real world. It's into the real world assets. I know it's a swap. It's a DEX, and it has DeFi for Base, but I don't know if it's actually a real world asset. It might not be. It might not be real world assets.
Okay.
It just might be a
but it's
swap.
definitely a DEX.
Yeah, it's definitely a DEX for DeFi and all this stuff on liquidity pools and all these things.
Okay.
On Base Network.
On Base, one of the things that we were going to talk about, I guess it's a good transition into that now, are all of these different networks. I'm curious to see. I know what's changed for me. I'm curious to hear from you. So I'll start off asking you, what has been a big difference this run versus last run for you? Is there anything that you can point at and say, man, I'm really doing this differently? And then tell me, has it been a positive or a negative in terms of, your bags or your just overall crypto mentality?
Yes, I haven't been doing too much of a difference from the last bull market to now. The only big difference would be looking into smaller cap cryptos, like Aerodrome, right? It's sitting at 200 mil now, but it wasn't when I first looked at it. Looking at just different cryptos that are like, sub 200, 300 mil market cap, even sub 100. I've gotten into a few that are like sub 10, 20. They don't all work out for sure. There's a lot higher risk the lower the market cap you go. But just taking more account into some of those lower market cap cryptos, because they do have runs and they do pump and they do stuff. So like I've already been stacking so much Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all this other stuff, and the blue chip stuff for the last couple of years. And now that the bull market is back, I think it's a good play to take a look at for at least a small percent of your portfolio into some of the smaller cap cryptos that are new, right? Because the top 10 is always going to look different than what it did before. The top 15, the top 20, the top 100. There's going to be new cryptos in this bull market that are going to replace some of the older ones, and nobody knows what they are, right? So speculating on those could pay off quite a bit.
Yeah, diversification is huge. That's something that I've been doing a lot too. I talked about bringing more risk into my portfolio. And obviously, we're not here to give financial advice. You have to figure out what your risk profile looks like. But I knew for me that I was in a position where my blue chip portfolio looked really solid. And I believe that just sitting on where I'm at with my blue chips, I was going to be able to do very well in this next bull run, taking profits along the way. which will be something I will be doing differently than last bull run, the way that I take the way and the amount at which I take profits and which assets I'll be, bailing from and which I'll be staying in. But actively adding some of that risk. But when I talk about adding risk, I've been learning a ton in crypto this run, and it's been being willing to do things that I otherwise before wasn't willing to do. You've heard Crusader and I talk. If you guys have followed us for any amount of time, you've heard us talk about how like we don't like to do risky plays. Like overall, we're pretty risk averse. Now, you can throw that idea out for Keeper because I've been playing around with the risky of all risky, which is the meme coins, but I'm actively telling you guys, hey, I'm gambling. This is a gambling bag. I understand that that's what I'm doing. But one of the things that I want to encourage people to do, check out these different chains. The one that Crusader just pulled up, the Arrow, what's it called? Arrow what?
Aerodrome
is on Base, is on the Base network, which is Coinbase. But if it's not a network that you've done anything on before, it can be kind of intimidating at first. There's a couple different ways. I bought a Base meme coin yesterday. Somebody had messaged me, said, hey, check this out, blah, blah, blah. Side note, it's not doing that well. Actually, it's doing kind of crappy, but that's not the point. The Base network, I was like, what almost stopped me from getting into it was that I didn't have any ETH or any other assets on Base. And so I almost didn't do it. And then I was like, no, Keeper, this is what you have been doing with Solana. This is what, I had never really messed around with Solana. This is what you've been doing over on Polygon. This is what you've been doing on AVAX. This is what you've been doing on BNB. This is what you've been doing on other networks. You've got to be able to expand just outside of your, it's right here, outside of your ETH bags. And that's really what had to happen. Let me tell you how easy it was, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you can bridge over to the Base network on Coinbase, which I believe it's free. I was told it was free. If it's not, it's damn near free. But let me tell you, if you're comfortable with MetaMask, when it says bridge, so you go to ETH, click on ETH. I'm not going to pull up my MetaMask portfolio right now, my MetaMask wallet right now. You click on bridge. It then literally flips over. It looks kind of like a DEX, and it's just asking you, or any other bridge. It's just showing you, hey, how much do you want to move? What network are we going to? Boom, bam, slam, execute that and confirm it. It costs like, I was telling Crusader earlier, it costs like $3, $4 at the most. Now there was a gas fee involved, but I think the gas fee was like $12. So for like $15 in that instance, I was able to take Ethereum, and all I had to do, I wanted to buy a meme coin in this instance, but I just took Ethereum, I bridged it over onto the Base network, and guess what? MetaMask has got it all set up for you to do it. You literally add the Base network. You've got to add it as another network on your MetaMask. But after you do that, you make that swap. It's sitting there just like any other. You go on to also you can go on Uniswap, and you can buy things on the Base network on Uniswap. They couldn't make it much easier. Crusader, what I know you've been looking at other networks. Do you have one that you've been playing around on that you really like? Because I will say the one thing that I love, I was talking trash about it, but the one thing I do love about Solana and then TON, which is the TON network I'm going to talk about in a second, but what I do love is the speed and the price. Because, dude, it is literally next to nothing. It's next to nothing.
Yeah, no, I haven't been messing around like that on any of the different blockchains. I haven't been doing that.
So one of the things, let me touch on this and we'll dive into the next topic, but TON, you guys have heard me talk about my Donald Trump meme coin, right? It's a part of the group. Okay, cool. But one of the things that's the problem is for most people is they're not used to or are ready to move over onto another chain. But let me show you something. Let me show you how easy it can be. I'm not even gonna show the page. I'm just gonna go down to the spot right here. All right, hold on. I'll flip you guys over here in just a second. I want to show you how easy this is. Okay. So let's say you wanted to get some TON, right? And you're like, well, what do I do? What do I do? How do I do this, Keeper? Okay. It's actually this simple. And we just put this together in, on the website. And I think it's really important. Okay. You got to get a wallet, right? Download TON Keeper. Yes. It's named after me. They were like, yeah, Keeper loves TON. We better name his wallet TON Keeper. Somebody actually asked me if this was my wallet, if this was literally my wallet integration. I said, I wish it's not. So you download TON Keeper. You get some TON. You can either bridge onto TON, which you can use change.io, change.now.io, or simple swap, whatever. You can either bridge, or you can go onto a centralized exchange, something like MEXC, and you can buy it. Then you can go over and onto StoneFi, STON.FI, and you can buy any of these assets that you want. That is your Uniswap. It's literally that easy. Get your wallet, either bridge or buy on a centralized exchange, and then buy the asset that you are looking to buy. Dude, I was as comfortable and old school as I've been with crypto. I genuinely was intimidated getting onto all these new networks, dude, and it's nothing. It's literally simple. More than anything, it's keeping track of where everything's at. Like, oh, I've got money on this wallet and that wallet and this network and that network. That's probably the biggest thing that I found, and I found a solution for that. There's a thing that keeps track of most of them called Zarian. Have you ever seen this one, dude? It's called Zarian Wallet. It's called Zarian, Zerion. It doesn't do TON yet, and it doesn't do. Don't know if it does Solana. It doesn't do all of the networks, but if you've got a bunch of different things going on in different wallets, you link up the wallets. You're not actually buying from there. I think you can, but I'm not doing that. I'm just linking up the wallet, and it keeps track of every single position that I have in one place, which is really nice. So I don't know. I guess I just want to encourage people. Don't be scared to check out these different networks. There's opportunities all over the place. And if you pigeonhole yourself like I was doing into one network because it's what you know and you're not willing to change, you're gonna miss opportunities. Crusader was just talking to you about what he bought on Base Network at 50 cents, and it's at $1.30. Crusader, right?
I think so. I think it's
something like that. Yeah, so almost a 300% move. But the only reason that he was able to take advantage of that is because he was willing to look at other networks. So I just want to kind of encourage everybody to expand your horizons and go after it. So what else is going on with you, brother? I know you've got lots of new work stuff going on. So that's nice. That's fun. You got that going on. What else is going on with your crypto bags? Are you doing or positioning yourself in any type of way?
I haven't really been buying too much of anything. I've been waiting for a pullback down to 55,000.
Are we going to get it?
Get it when we were ranging below 69.
Are we going to get it?
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get it. We did back above 69,000. Like I said earlier in the show, we're at 70,600, 700 right now. Bitcoin's having another leg up right now. So I don't know if we're going to see that. Meanwhile, we're above 69,138, which is the 2021 all-time high. Bitcoin's bullish. There's no reason for me to say we're going down to 55.
Yeah,
right now. Doesn't seem like we're going to get that pullback. If we see it at some other point in the future, if we ever get back down below 69, then 55 is in play. But meanwhile, we stay above 69. I can't say 55 is in play for me. So I'm gonna have to readjust here and see if we don't come back down, we might have to start dollar cost averaging into some other positions, even though they're a bit higher now.
Let me ask you a question. Somebody asked me, why does it feel like Cardano is lagging behind? I'm going to turn on my ceiling fan here in 2 seconds, but you can start answering the question. Why does it feel like Cardano is lagging behind what's happening in the markets?
It does. I mean, Cardano's a slow mover. It's been like that in the last bull market as well. Last time in the last bull market, Cardano was one of the last ones to move as well. It moved to like $3 and some change in like September of 2021. So like it had the really, really massive move later on, right? You can even say Ethereum is basically a slow mover too, right? So Ethereum hasn't hit a new all-time high, right? Ethereum just kind of been sitting there. It's been barely above 4,000 grand. So just overall, Cardano's a slow mover, but when it moves, it runs, and you just got to be patient with it. Last time it had no smart contracts, had nothing going on. I don't see a reason why it cannot reach previous all-time highs and much higher in this next market. Is just a slow mover.
My response was that I just don't think it's its turn yet. It hasn't had its day in the sun. These things are cyclical. You have a lot of money flowing into right now all of the different meme tokens and you know, people are gambling and whatnot. I think as that maybe that's not going to quote unquote die, but it might cool down in waves or whatever. I think people are going to be putting profits into projects that they love, and Cardano is one of those that has a freaking following that is just, I mean, they drink the Kool-Aid. They love them some Cardano. So
Yeah,
I'll be interested.
People need to realize that the meme coin thing doesn't last forever. It'll have different waves. Yeah. We haven't seen any scams yet this bull market. We haven't seen any bridge hacks. We haven't seen any rug pulls just yet, but they're coming.
Oh, we've seen some. Solana has been.
I'm not talking about like the little small meme coin got rug or whatever. I'm talking about like something big that's in the headlines, right? Like something, a massive protocol getting hacked and being drained for millions of dollars, right? Some exchange or something getting locked down. Some big crypto project that just goes bust out of nowhere. Yeah, right. Like stuff like that hasn't happened yet. It's all been very positive experience since the beginning of 2024. The most negative thing was Bitcoin's drop from 48 down to 38 with the ETF launch. That's literally been the most negative thing that's happened. But at some point, we'll see some of these things happen, and when that does, the altcoins will bleed out a significant amount. And then it's just part of the game. People need to keep that in the back of their mind that time is coming.
Yeah. So where was this? I started to pull it up. Oh yeah, I did pull it up actually. Patriot Caveman says, speaking of smart contracts, Caspa.
Is Caspa getting smart contracts?
So tell me, Patriot Caveman, did you see that they actually have them? Because they at least didn't for a while. I knew that they've been talking about getting into and building smart contracts on Caspa. So tell me, Patriot Caveman, I need to dive into this. I should know this. I don't know this offhand. So if there is smart contracts on Caspa, I need to check that out. I knew that they were talking about integrating, but I have not seen that they do. I want to shout out also to Patriot Caveman. He said, I've literally never used any of the chains. I'm just here for the money. This is my whole point, though, Patriot Caveman. I challenge you. Use the chains. I'm not telling you need to do the wild craziness of like start buying meme coins and stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's so many opportunities on these different chains and different protocols. And we talked about a little bit earlier, Crusader, but the ordinals. People are playing around on Bitcoin and where they otherwise couldn't do that. The reality is you're going to get left behind in some sense. It's not that you can't just buy and hold. I know people that have bought and hold lots and lots of crypto and they just sit on Coinbase. I actually had a buddy of mine that I was talking to about some stuff and he was like, well, wouldn't I have to like set up a wallet? And I'm like, this guy's got 6 figures worth of crypto. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to need your help. I was like, hold on a second. What did you just say? And he was like, I would need your help. And I was like, setting up a wallet. You need my help. I wasn't being a jerk. I was like, genuinely couldn't figure out, like, how does this man have hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto, maybe even over $1 million, and didn't know how to set up a wallet? And the reality was all he ever has done is bought on Coinbase and it's sat on Coinbase and has done nothing outside of that, which amazed me.
It goes to show you that wealth doesn't translate to intelligence. A lot of people like to think that somebody is a wealthy individual or made a lot of money off a certain investment. Man, that guy's so smart. I want to listen to what he's got to say. That guy could be dumb as a pile of rocks. It doesn't really mean jack squat.
Yeah, you could make good decisions in terms of buying something and be forward thinking, and then not actively secure.
Be straight up lucky as well.
Yeah. Forward thinking or just straight up lucky, for sure. Patriot Caveman, by the way, has something for us, Crusader. Just letting you know, he's going to be sending it, I think, to me. I'll send it out your way. I don't even know what it is. He hasn't told me, but he was messaging that he has some real world asset for you and I. So I'm excited to check it out, Patriot Caveman. We love you, bro.
Yeah, that asset is going to drain all your wallets with all your meme coin money.
Well, I mean, last few days it has not been too fruitful. So okay. So I wanted to ask you, Flipper Hodl reminder for those of you that don't know, we are going to be I'm hoping to play again this Friday. We might be switching possibly over to Tuesdays for Flipper Hodl. That is, we'll keep you guys posted on that. as we have more and more sponsors coming into the space, as that continues to happen and we're playing the game more and more combined with our personal schedules, we might be flipping over to Tuesdays on Flipper Hodl. But if you guys want to get your name on the wheel, I'm going to take a peek at the wheel real quick. Let me see here. There is a total of
2 names.
There's 50 names total, and that's only, hang on, how many people is that? That's actually only 2 people. 2 people. There are 2 people. I can't even hold up 2. I'm like 3. That's 2 people that have 50 spots on the wheel right now. So if you are looking to be on there, 40, look across the bottom of the screen here. $4,500 on the line. $1 super chat gives you 1 entry, 2x multiplier if you're a member, 3x multiplier for gifting memberships. Get your name on this wheel. It's for $4,500 the next time we play. So that has not gone away. I still can't wrap my mind around how we haven't had a bigger. I know we've been off and we've been, not live and blah, 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 but I still can't wrap my mind around how we haven't had a bunch more people flowing in as we're openly giving away real deal money, like on a regular basis. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So at any event, let's jump into the chat real quick and see if anybody's got anything interesting before we go on to this next bit of information. DCF. I use a lot of the different chains. I've used Solana, BNB, Harmony, Moonbeam, Evmos, Cosmos, Luna before it crashed. Crypto is stupid, but sometimes fun when number go up. The reason I wanted to highlight this is that last part, when number go up. That is why people get into crypto. It is when number go up. That's what it is all about. But I want to challenge that and say those numbers are going to go up as a result of real world utility making changes in our everyday life. I understand that most of it is speculative right now. I understand that in the past, everybody has made all of their money off of pure speculation, but we are at the point where people are building on these chains, where the RWAs, the real world assets that we're talking about, are literally, we're tokenizing these real world assets. These things are actively changing. And I think that the more and more that happens, the more you're going to see true value coming out of the crypto space. Would you agree, Crusader, or you think it's going to continue to just be super speculative?
There's always going to be some speculation as new cryptos keep coming.
Caffeinated Crypto, shout out to you, brother. $20 super chat. Sorry to cut you off. I got you, brother. And Caffeinated Crypto, I don't even have to take a look, is definitely a member as well. So that's a banger of a. I got you, bro. All right, what did you say about?
The thing that overall, I think there's always going to be some speculative asset cryptos as new cryptos are built and new projects come aboard or whatever. But other ones will become more blue chip level, more institutionalized. They'll have a lot less risk involved with them. And as we see stuff like that, right, real world assets, tokenization of those things, they're all going to have different classifications of how speculative or how risky that asset is going to be, and people are just going to be able to, right now we kind of we have lived in a world where everything in crypto is massive amount of risk. I think eventually we'll have more and more risk crypto assets that are less risky than in more traditional finance. People will be like, yeah, that's like not a big deal. Like it's just normal. How people don't deem stocks and the traditional finance system as risky.
Dude, I had somebody say that to me last week or the week before. When I was talking about crypto, they literally said to me, well, but bro, I mean, you're gambling. Like, this isn't the stock market. And I was like, whoa. Hold up. Skirt. Do you not think that you're gambling on the stock market? That's all I said. And he said, well, I mean, not actually gambling. I said, yes, you are. I said, you legitimately are going off of speculative information on a company that you think will or will not produce, when the reality is their earnings reports can come out and be positive and everything looks great for the company and blah, 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 but the price goes down. There is a lot that happens in these markets that are manipulated, in which you are 100% as well Gambling. Any sort of investment is some sort of a gamble. You are putting money on the line that you do not know what is going to happen with it. You do not know. So therefore, that in and of itself is a gamble. But you're right. I think that we are going to get, as the ETF is out longer and longer, as there are new ETFs, as Ethereum ETF happens, as some of these other projects continue to use blockchain, as blockchain becomes more and more just of a normal thing, you're right. It is going to be more and more and more common and less and less and less risk. But the side of that is, and remember everybody, as a general rule, less risk means, Crusader, fill in the blank. If you have less risk, you have less potential for
losing money.
Gains. Well, yeah, the other direction. You have less potential to gain the amount of money that most people are in crypto because of the fact that there's so much potential. But as it just gets to be a normal everyday thing, you're not going to have the potential that you have right now. Patriot Caveman, shout out to you, brother. $10 super chat said, I don't know if this will go through. I've tried many times. Well, we actually saw about 6 of them come through, but since you put this in there, no, it hasn't gone through yet. Keep sending them. No, I'm just kidding. There's been one, brother. We see one. I'm putting you on there right now. I have trouble with super chats sometimes too. I don't know why. Like sometimes they'll go through, sometimes they won't. Patriot Caveman is a member as well. What's that?
What is that about people super chats not going through?
Well, no, I'm saying I've had it happen to me too. We've seen people say it, but I 100% get on board with that because I've had it happen to me. It's a pain in the butt. No, I was trying to super chat on whose show was it? I think it was maybe Lifer. I was trying to throw a super chat in about something he was talking about, and it would not let me do it. And then the next day, same exact card, same everything, it let me do it. So who freaking knows, dude? Who knows? Yeah. So the last thing I want to say on the different chains is the fees. Most of these chains have got hip to the fact that, and the technology obviously helps, but most of these chains are hip to the fact that people are not standing for these high fees, dude. They're not. They're just not. And what I'm noticing, a real normal thing, if you go to let's talk about the other chains versus ETH. I love ETH, and it's my biggest holding, but go over to Polygon, which is built on ETH, but what do the fee structure look like on Polygon? Next to nothing. Yeah. Go over to Solana. What does the fee structure look like? Next to gas, obviously. Next to nothing. I went over onto Base yesterday. What do the fees look like? Next to nothing or nothing, depending on if you do it via Coinbase or not. So that's, next to nothing. AVAX, Avalanche. What does that look like on Trader Joe, et cetera? Next to nothing. And so what we see is that these networks, these people that are building these ecosystems understand that, hey, I can go over here and build, and it's as fast, if not faster. It's still secure, and I don't have to spend money. One thing I will say that I don't like about it is that it encourages some of the scammy crap, dude. Because
it encourages a lot, right? That's why we talk about ETH's gas fees are a feature, not a bug.
Or a feature, yep. Because, dude, I'm seeing it like this.
Cheap. Everybody can just infinitely develop all kinds of nonsense on the blockchain,
which is happening.
And outside of Solana's meme coins, what is Solana really doing? What is people bullish on Solana for outside of the meme coins?
Yeah.
Nothing. Right? Just the meme coin frenzy. So when that dries up, what else do they have going on? Not a lot. And a lot of these other blockchains, right? Not trying to take away anything from these other blockchains or the fact that they have low gas fees. They also don't deal with the amount of traffic that Ethereum does. Not even remotely close. The TVL locked up on Ethereum compared to any other blockchain is
it's second to none. Yeah.
And therefore, the money is still sitting on Ethereum, even with high gas fees. It's just Ethereum does not tolerate nonsense on their network. If you want to start building nonsense, you got to go to one of these cheapo depot blockchains that will allow you to do that, and that's fine. Everything deserves to have its own place. And I've said this a lot. I feel like a lot of blockchains get built out and they're like, well, this layer one's going to do everything these other layer ones have done plus more. It's like, well, why don't you just find your own thing in layer ones and build out that? Everything doesn't need to be built all in one place. and it doesn't have to be the main target. Things can have different purposes. And Ethereum might not be the place for meme coins. It might not be the place for a massive amounts of NFTs or whatever, but it could be a place for real world assets to sit on. It could be a place for tokenization. It could be a place for
doesn't need to do everything.
Park, because they don't care about a $300 gas fee.
Yeah.
They don't. They pay a lot more in that just transferring money in a bank account from one place to the next around the world. That takes literally like 7 business days to get there or more. So them paying a $300 gas fee for something on the blockchain means nothing to them. And that's why I believe that the Ethereum ETF will get approved and that institutions will continue to start building. We already see there's a BlackRock made an announcement. They have an asset fund called Buildo, right? Instead of build.
What's it called?
Normal.
Buildo?
Instead of build like normal, is build with the L in the back. Buildo.
Oh, so it's BUIDL?
Yeah. So they had created an asset fund that is named with that ticker, and they're investing like over $5 million just to start, right? Just in the announcement on real world assets on Ethereum's blockchain.
Okay.
So now they came, and around the same time they made that announcement, the ACC is like, oh, we're going to be investigating Ethereum might be a security. It's just a delay tactic for them to continue building whatever it is that they're doing. Ethereum's going to get the institutional play, and they don't care about the gas fees.
Yeah, dude, I do think that we need to remember exactly that. I like what you said in that everything isn't for everybody in terms of these networks don't need to be able to do everything, right? I like that because you don't go to, let's just say, you don't go to Home Depot to buy makeup, right? That's just not the place that you go for that. And so in that same regard, we should be able to look at some of these different chains and say, oh, okay, well, this is the Walmart of blockchains where you can get a little bit of everything. It's decently cheap, but you're going to, see some crap while you're there. Right. And then you're going to say, oh, this is the Saks Fifth Ave of crypto. Everything is freaking expensive. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense that it is expensive, but you're going to see a lot of people that are there are going to have they're just going to be more higher net worth type individuals because they can afford to be there, and things that will be built there will be of that higher net worth. So I think we're going to see that a lot. I 100% agree for sure.
Yeah. A lot of people that fade Ethereum. Oh, Ethereum is trash. Gas fees are terrible. I agree. It sucks for us regular poor people, but the rich people, they don't care about that. They don't care about those gas fees, and they want to park their money on Ethereum because Ethereum is the safest smart contract platform out there, and that's where the money is. That's where all the big business is. Everything else is just competing for a small little slice.
So let's talk. We put this into the thumbnail, right? Let's talk about. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to clear that off there. Let's talk about XRP, dude. First of all, XRP fam, put them up. It takes a lot for me to continue to be, loud and excitable about XRP. But let's talk about this. If it would come up, here we go. XRP attracts massive $1.2 million inflows amid Bitcoin exodus. That's all I'm going to read, because ultimately what the article says, I'll make it real simple for you. The article says, hey, there was money flowing out of Bitcoin and there's money flowing in to XRP. The funny thing is it says massive $1.2 million inflows. Bro, $1.2 million in the crypto markets is a drop in the bucket. It is a move of a meme coin over the course of 20 minutes when it's pumping. You know what I mean? Like, I know they were saying net inflow, so obviously there was more action coming in and out of the markets. But what's happening with XRP, dude? Take your bias out of it. Try to take your bias out of it. I'm gonna try to take mine out of it. I hold a lot of XRP. I think I've told you guys this before. My average entry, my cost basis is around 15, 16, 17, 18 cents, somewhere right in there. So I'm in a great position. I hold a bunch of it, and I'm at this point would be stupid to sell because I do believe that we're going to go back to all-time highs and beyond, right? So I'm just sitting there, right? But the facts are, if I would have taken all of that money and put it elsewhere, and I could have picked a lot of different things to put it into, right? I could have put it into freaking Bitcoin, right? And I would have seen massive returns on top of what I have been seeing with XRP. So we put on the thumbnail, slow rug is what was suggested by the thumbnail. Do you actually take your bias out? Do you genuinely believe that we're not going to see all-time highs and that this is over the course of time just been a platform for them to effectively show a proof of concept and they're going to ultimately use it for CBDCs and we're going to be kind of stuck holding the bag?
I think it's possible, man. I think it's possible. I think people get stuck with the bias that it's not possible because they haven't seen a large OG crypto that's been in the space for the very longest amount of time fail. And I think because they haven't, they think that there's a guarantee that it won't. And people are betting the house on it when there is no such thing as a guarantee that it won't. And, the question becomes, yeah, I don't like XRP for what it does or whatever, but outside of that, what does it do? What has it been doing? It got hit with the SEC lawsuit. Okay. That was a long time ago. They've pretty much outright already won the case, right? Even if it hasn't been officially deemed. So I don't keep up with that stuff, but everybody pretty much knows that they've won or they're going to win or whatever. So why is XRP still not pumping? XRP had a massive pump to like 90 cents when that news first broke out or whatever, and then it massively just liquidated all over again, and then never, like, everything else has been running like crazy. If XRP is what all these people say it is, why is it not running? Why can it not get back above $1? Where is the suppression coming from now?
So
is it just Ripple dumping on the market every single month?
Which happens every month. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the interesting thing, so that happens. What Crusader's talking about, if you're not into XRP, is that they have a treasury. Effectively, it's actually from their escrow. Their escrow. It's not a treasury. It's an escrow.
Like 50% of the suppliers.
Yeah, and I think 1 billion XRP gets washed out onto the market every single month. Right, gets dumped back in our laps. Right, so we have to obviously fight against that. But I think it's actually similar to what's happening with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin obviously is structurally is dynamically set up, far superior to XRP in that, dude, the people are so Jim Jones with this thing. They are so they've drank the Kool-Aid so heavily that they're just not. Everybody's doing this. Let me sit on my hands. Let me sit on my hands. Let me sit on my hands.
All I is XRP.
And that's all.
I don't need anything else.
That's all people are doing. They're just sitting on their hands. I think the majority of the XRP people, with the exception of maybe Zach Rector and a couple other people, they haven't been buying XRP. They've been trying to convince everybody else of why they should buy. And the facts are, and I'll use myself as an example, I haven't been buying freaking XRP. I got a shitload of it, but I haven't been buying it.
There's a lot of XRP people that just like, all I buy is XRP. I don't need anything else. When the switch is flipped, there's all I need.
That's just a why, dude.
Okay.
And if they're right, they will end up looking like a freaking genius or the luckiest person on earth. One of the two, right? But the facts are, why would you ever put all of your eggs in one basket that way? I had somebody ask me yesterday. They're like, oh, so like trying to diversify. We were talking about this at a small group from my church. They're talking about diversifying in crypto, talking about the difference between holding low caps, holding mid caps, holding blue chips, mining, staking, like just different things that you can do in crypto, meme coins, all of that. We're kind of talking about all that. And he was talking about just like the different types of safer plays that you can have that ultimately could yield a really big return, and was basically saying, well, should I dump all of my crypto in and do this? And my answer immediately was like, whoa, wait a minute. Even if it's the safest, seems like the best return, why would you take the diversification that you have, which is a good amount of diversification, not overly diversified, but a good amount of diversification right now? Why would you take that out? Think about it. It's like playing flipper hodl. If you got to hold more than one case instead of just that one case, you have a much better chance of getting that big number at the end of the game, right? If you got to switch multiple times throughout the game, you would increase your odds of winning the $4,500 that's at the end of the rainbow, right? But you don't. You have just one. And so what I think people are done with XRP is they've put all of their eggs into that one single basket. And while the rest of the markets are just absolutely ripping and running, and I'm making money, and you're making money, and they're making money, and they're making money, and they're just sitting there doing nothing. When it's like, hey, what if you did hold a chunk of XRP because you believe in it, you've got convictions, but you took something out of it. This is not financial advice, by the way. If this thing rips off tomorrow, go ahead, clip this, right? You guys can make fun of me all you want, but what would be the thought process, or why would people not do that? And I think the biggest thing that people need to remember is that you have a much better opportunity if you don't have just everything all tied up in one.
I just love how in this bull market, one thing I know you asked me this earlier, is like, what's one difference in this market? I've seen a lot of more XRP hate in this bull run than I've ever seen before.
Well, of course, because people are pissed, bro.
A lot of it, bro. And yeah, I've seen a lot of XRP maxis also walk their maxiness backwards and like, except for Exact Rector. I think he's the only one that's still like full on out that I know of. I'm
sure that you can think of.
Local gurus out there as well. But and no hate to him, because he does invest in gold and silver, and
he's a smart dude.
A lot of other economical stuff and assets. So he's got really good content. But man, I just think that he's like, kind of like the Michael Saylor of XRP, but doesn't want to realize that it's not working, right? Unlike Michael Saylor, that's up $4 billion in profit right now or more. That's not really happening.
So at what point do you think someone like that, let's use Zach as an example, because we love Zach. We've had Zach on the show. We're friends with Zach. Can he ever walk away from this?
No, he can't, because his whole following is built on it, right? If he walks away from XRP, why are people going to watch him? People are going to hate him. They're going to crucify him for that. So he's got to stick it out. And then if it doesn't work out,
or quietly be doing other things.
I mean, it's not about being quietly, right? You don't have to be public about everything you do. But you're just going to have to if it fails, you're going to have to go down with the ship and be like, yeah, man, I was a true believer. I thought it worked out. And, then unforeseeable events happened and it did it. And just take it on the chin. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, we've seen Mason walk back away from the XRP narrative. We've definitely seen Joshua Jake do a 180. Doesn't even talk about it.
Oh, has he done a full 180 on it?
Oh, yeah. Remember how we had a debate about how we were debating pro Bitcoin and we were debating against him and Mason being pro XRP. He's pro Bitcoin like almost 100% right now. He's super huge into the Bitcoin ecosystem, Bitcoin DeFi, decentralized science. XRP is not even on his radar, and that's not talking bad about him. I've had that conversation with him back in September. It's just he was like, bro, I looked at the information and I was like, this thing looks a whole lot better. I have a way better understanding of what's happening with Bitcoin now than ever. And he was able to change his view. And there's nothing wrong with changing your view.
No,
you get new information and you change with it. But I think a lot of people need to come to the realization that maybe XRP isn't as great, and the switch isn't going to be as flipped as everyone thinks it is. And XRP could just pivot. I've said this before. It could just pivot into something else. And I know they're trying to do they're bringing DeFi onto XRPL, right? They're bringing DeFi on there. They're doing, they've had NFTs. They have a DEX. They're doing more crypto stuff on their chain. And that's what makes me believe that the pivot is coming, because why would you be putting all that stuff on your chain if you really didn't?
You're about to take over the SWIFT system.
You're about to take over the SWIFT system, right? You're about to take over all this stuff. You don't need any of that. But hey, no, the blockchain doesn't need any of this. We're just here for the banks, and we're going to revolutionize the entire traditional finance on top of our chain, because they're not going to be about DeFi. Banks don't want you to deposit money in pools or whatever unless they have some direct access to it, and they're siphoning money from it somehow. They're not going to want you. They're not going to want to do that. So I don't know.
There's so much that has happened in the amount of time when you look at. I'd like to see somebody break it down, but there's so much, and you could compare so many different tokens too. And again, this could change overnight. The switch could flip. It could. I don't think it's going to happen like that, but it could, right?
In XRP's favor, I doubt it.
I understand.
that's
I'm with you. I don't think that it's going to happen like that either. But I never thought that. I always joked around how I was like, oh, yeah, when it hits 50K overnight, I'm giving everybody, this, that, and the third in terms of I've always known that that is not going to happen. I just don't think that they would allow, if anything, people to get wealthy like that overnight. And you have so many people that have held this thing, the same thing that you were talking about a minute ago. They've held it for so long, so hardcore that they can't back away from it. Although I think it's one of the smartest things that you could ever do is be willing to recognize when you're wrong, admit it, and take a step in the other direction. It's a really hard thing to do. But the reality is like, sometimes it's necessary, and it has felt that way with this.
This person right here says XRPL AMM failed from day one. That had to do with that. I don't know what the entire abbreviation AMM or whatever it stands for, but
what, the automated market maker?
Oh, that's what it is.
It
had to do with the whole. I know it had to do with the DeFi thing. I just didn't know what the AMM stood.
What happened with their?
I don't know what happened. I don't keep up with XRP news, but apparently saying that it failed from day one. So like,
I thought you were saying there was something that happened. So chat, let us know. What do you think? Do you think that XRP is going to have its day in the sun? And if so, is it going to happen this bull run? Is it going to happen in the way that it has been portrayed, as it is going to be the savior of remittances? Is it actually going to, allow people to pass money back and forth, this, that, and the third? The facts are also a lot of other cryptos do that at this point, right? And so
any crypto does that. You can send crypto anywhere around the world with any crypto.
It's hard, man, because I have seen, my opinion has been changing. I'm holding it, like I said, and going to continue to hold it because of the position that I'm still in, even with it being flat. I don't know at what point that would change for me, though. I'm thinking, like,
you start approaching your initial cost basis, you're like, oh crap.
Well, what if it does that? Good God, that would be just absolutely catastrophic. No, but I'm saying, like, as an example, let's say it creeps up. Let's say it goes between 60 something cents and $1, and it stays at $1, and it does that coming up into the next bear market, and it looks like we're going to have an actual bear market. I'd be having some real deal conversations about it at a minimum, at a bare minimum, taking back all of my initials like I would with a freaking meme coin at that point, just to, cover myself fully and play with house money. I have considered that. I have full on considered looking at my overall cost basis in XRP and taking out my initial and playing with that elsewhere. But I have a hard time with it because I genuinely do believe that we're going to see all-time highs again, plus some. So I just, I've accumulated enough that $5-ish, number that I think is a realistic number for it to do, I still think is definitely a good possibility of happening if I'm willing to be patient enough. So that's why I haven't backed off of it. So
look at these chats. Says that there was a bug found in their AMM and people lost money on the pool.
Oh shoot, I did not see that. I did not see that.
Cayman says for it to get to $3, it would have to move mountains due to market cap and supply.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, it's going to $5.89.
That's right. $589, not $5.89, $589. I'd rather buy Caspa over XRP because there's a lot more upside at a $3 billion market cap. This means Caspa has to do a 10x to get to 30 billion market cap, and that's still under XRP's market cap. I agree with that 100% for sure.
And there's people that believe Caspa is going to like $3-4 this bull market.
Ooh, that would be silly, bro.
Cardano reached 90 billion market cap last bull market.
Well, let's see. Let's see here. So yeah, but Caspa's number like 40, right? Caspa's at number 40 right now. Is it 3.445 billion? So if it did, let's just say it got to $3. That's a 20x from where we're at right now. That would be $68 billion market cap, which right this second would put it at number 7. No, I'm sorry, number 6. It would put it at number 6, right above XRP. It'd be about double XRP and right below Solana.
The only problem
from where it's at right now. So
the only problem with that is when people hear that, like, oh, that would never happen. you have to realize that all the other cryptos are going to be moving up as well. Like the total
Yes.
crypto market cap moves.
Yes.
So Caspa can reach a
But
$68 billion market cap and still might not even be in the top 10 because everything has moved so drastically. And you guys will realize that as we get to like peak FOMO in this bull market, you will see like, oh snap, like these cryptos market caps are insane right now.
it's silly, bro. I
So,
mean,
yeah, but when we do the math, right, it's like, well, if this moves 20x and nothing else moves, it bumps all the way up to number 7, and people are like, oh, never. It's like, well, you got to realize everything else will be moving along with it as well. So it's very possible,
dude.
We've seen crazier things in crypto.
I am hoping and praying for that one to happen. That would be sick. Okay. So yeah, I think the thesis of today's show, first of all, next Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, be here, same time, same place. We have got Trading Wars. I'm super excited to announce. We'll announce later on this week the cast that's going to be on. You guys are going to be able to play for the ability, not only to win a bunch of money and prizes, but to be able to come on for the following season. Somebody from each group, somebody from each KOL, somebody from each influencers community is going to be able to come on and play in the following season. So I'm really excited about that. Like I said, we're also going to be winning lots of money. So make sure that you guys are here. That's starting next Monday. Also, Flipper Hodl. Like I said, we might change the day at which we do that, but for right now, that is set for Fridays. So stick around for that. And then to the best of our ability, we are going to be streaming throughout the week as much as humanly possible. There's going to be some jumping around. There's going to be some days where it's just Crusader. Tomorrow it might just be Crusader. The next day it might just be me, vice versa. But we're going to do our best to be here every single day, if at all possible. So, Crusader, anything else before we bail out of here?
Nope.
Crypto fam, we love you. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials. Crusader's been popping off on TikTok. Go over there and give him a follow. Definitely, he's been blowing up over there. You can follow me on TikTok as well, and then make sure to be following us on X. We're trying to continue to grow on X and do our thing there. So we love you. You could have been anywhere on a Monday, but you're hanging out with Crypto Wars. So until next time, question everything,
trust nothing,
and until next time, hodl. We will see you soon.